Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for making it on. My name is Megan Eggleston. This is a special call tonight. This is not my team's normal team call evening, but we were the first and third Tuesdays, but because of the cruise, this really worked out because I had agreed to guest speak on Lisa Bassett's, or Lisa Olive Bassett. I'm not sure what you go by. Lisa Olive Bassett's, her team Rough Tough Buffs call. So it's awesome because both teams are on this call tonight. And Lisa was the guest speaker on my team's call and shared a lot of amazing content, and what a blessing she was to our team with all the content she shared. And for Team Phoenix, if you did not make that call, definitely check our team call library in the files section. If you are new to my team, that's you can find old calls there. And Lisa, you are welcome to share any of my calls that you think might be appropriate for your team's needs from my team call library. But I am honored to speak on, to guest speak on Lisa's call. And I also would love, this is great stuff that I could love to share with my team as well. So so let me introduce myself a little bit more formally, because Team Rough Tough Buffs may not know me very well. And hey, some of Team Phoenix, they're, if you're newer, you don't know who I am. So my name is Megan Eggleston, and I am the founder of Team Phoenix. I started coaching about 3 years ago. So my team, sorry, you're just gonna have to hear a little bit of my story real quick again. But I was not ever planning to do anything like this. This was definitely, I was a discount coach for a full year, just enjoying my Shakeology. I was anti-network marketing, and I have a fitness background. I have a certification in group fitness and a certification in personal training, as well as a degree in kinesiology with a specialization in exercise leadership, and a master's in sport management. So I had all these degrees and certifications. So I thought that, why do I need to go do Beachbody coaching, pay $40 to, do that. I was a snob, and I've said this a lot. Calling myself out at that time, I just didn't know any better. But I'm a mom of three young children, and I was loving staying home with them. And I was trying to figure out what was my next move going to be to go back into the workspace. I knew that I needed to do something. I'm one of those people who, as much as I love taking care of my family, and was so fortunate for the opportunity to serve my family in that way, I'm so blessed to have that. I still desired to serve outside of that. I felt like I had a lot to give, and shoot, I had $36,000 still in student loan debt that I knew I needed to pay off somehow. And you spend all that time in education, you feel like I gotta use this somehow, right? So I was still trying to figure out what I was gonna do. But I thought, if I don't have to go back to work like a 9 to 5, because we're making this work financially, we're figuring out with adjusting some things financially to make this happen, why would I just to get a job? I need to find something that will light me up, so I was kind of trying to figure that out. I tried a lot of different things, started and quit a lot of different things, passionate about a lot of different things. I just tried, invested money in learning different things, nursing school, I did a lot of training for lactation consulting. I dabbled in so many things, childbirth education. I spent money and hours, but nothing ever really seemed to be yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what's worth me leaving my family to do and get paid for. So about a year after being on Shakeology and just enjoying the amazing benefits of it, which at first I was like, I don't do shakes, you just eat healthy. But baby number 3 kind of rocked my world. Wasn't eating really well. Gained a lot of weight with her, postpartum depression, anxiety, just kind of a wreck. And I was struggling with nutrition. So that's how I found Shakeology. It just changed my energy levels. When I researched the ingredients, I realized how different it was. It was not your typical shake. It was not a protein shake. It was so much more than that. All whole foods, all natural. And I was like, you're speaking my language. Let me try this stuff. I'll get the money back if it's not doing its thing. And sure enough, I was hooked. You guys all know I'm preaching to the choir. So I was sitting on my discount until I decided to try a little what they call challenge groups. I said, I'll try this. I want to just get some friends together. I didn't know there's actually challenge groups for a free, you know, accountability Facebook thing. And sure enough, like it was just so much fun and amazing that I thought I could do this every month, like especially if like there's compensation attached to it. So I tried my first real challenge group not quite 3 years ago, and I never stopped because I realized how much it lit me up. And even then, I didn't think I was going to do a business out of it. I thought it was a hobby that was going to keep me fulfilled until I figured out my next big thing. Until this little hobby turned into that next big thing. And, you know, here I am, you know, whatever, you know, leading a team of almost 1,500, you know, changing our family's future with, you know, the income and helping and seeing like 5 to 6 people on my team now with full-time incomes is pretty extraordinary, and I'm really proud of what Team Phoenix has become. So I hope that gives you guys a little insight into who I am and how it's got started. So tonight we're talking about how to build your RockStar team, I think that's what we called it. So it's essentially about recruiting. And this is like, I think this is like the hardest thing for most people to do. As coaches, it's the most intimidating thing. It's the scariest thing. I know I personally had that whole stigma around it. And I think I'm really sensitive to it personally because I definitely was one of those negative Nellies. I mean, I was never nasty to anybody. Would never like, I just thought, oh no, I could never sell anything. No. Don't make me sell anything. So I get it. I get that mindset, but I want to challenge that today because if I can turn around from what I turned around from and, you know, make a career out of this and like just love it and feel like I am doing you a disservice if I don't share this with you, then anybody can. I truly believe this. And if somebody who was terribly, painfully shy, meek, timid personality, people would have not called me a confident person, would not have called me a bold person, a charismatic person. I was a wallflower, just mild-natured person who kind of liked to stay, you know, just off the shoulder of people, you know, not leading a charge, not rocking any kind of boat, making any kind of waves. I did not like to be in the front, like leading anything, putting on social media, like all those things that you were afraid of. I trust me that I know what it feels like because that was me. And if I can get over it, you certainly can. And so I don't truly feel like I can share with you anything that you probably haven't already heard in a national wake-up call from some other, you know, extraordinary coaches. What I'd love to do is, I hope everybody has some paper. I am going to give you some practical steps. Don't worry. But definitely pick up some paper and pen. I want you to write some things down. There are some things that I think you really will get, you really need to start taking action on moving forward. And let me just give you some 2 great calls or resources. I guess I can't really, I'm gonna need to provide a link. I'll give Lisa the link and then I'll send it to my team. But there's 2 really extraordinary resources on this that I've loved personally. And the first is, with my team, I put it was in my Team Phoenix newsletter every Sunday night. If you are not getting that, I put what I call the RockStar call, and it's a call by a seasoned coach sharing incredible information. So Lisa, if you're not on my newsletter list, let me know and I'll make sure that you're getting that. And if you see a call that you feel like, wow, my team would really benefit from this, yeah, you can use it. But a couple weeks ago, I shared one from Anita Miron that was pretty solid. And she's a top 10 coach. She's been top 10 coach 2 years in a row. She recruits like 30, 40 people a month, like, crazy numbers. And then Janelle Summers, her national wake-up call a few weeks ago, I don't know when it was, one of my favorite calls of all time. If you have not listened to Janelle Summers' national wake-up call, listen to that. It was only a few weeks ago, and I forget what it was called, but I'll try to dig it up. So good, just so good. So I am going to give you some action items. I am going to give you some actionable steps. I'm going to give you some tips that have helped me. But I think more than practical action items, which you probably have heard before, or, you know, Janelle, and you might hear from Anita, I don't know. There's a mindset and there are some understandings that I think have to come before these action items: what to say, who to say it to, how to follow up, how long do I wait, what do I do in those crickets? Like, sure, I can give you some of those tips and advice, and I do all the time with my team, but honestly, I think there's more of a mindset and an understanding before any of that's going to be effective. And so I want to talk about that a little bit too. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the meat of the call. And Lisa, stop me if at any time you think, you know what, I want to dig a little bit deeper here. If you think I'm maybe not clear on something, feel free to stop me. And you think that I could expand on something, or if you want to have like some give and take, you know, ideas, like pop in, because I think that will only help, you know, our teams for sure.
I will do.
Okay. So, just getting my notes open so I don't forget anything. So, I mean, I think the important thing to understand is, like, recruiting is the only way that you're going to grow a business. If you want to build a business with coaching, I don't know anybody who only does this on commission, 25%. So it is the #1 to grow a business. So if you just want to like sell some stuff and be a salesperson, awesome. If you're good at that, awesome. I don't know any of my team that would say, I just love selling these things all the time. It's all I want to do. It's so fun. That's not going to be effective as a long-term like business option, or, you know, any kind of income, because we know that the beauty of multi-level marketing, as far as the compensation plan, is that as we build a team and there's team volume, that is how people earn real money. So, but none of us came in to do that, right? None of us came in, well, that's not true. Some people come in to make an income, but we're leading with heart, right? The first thing that we want to do is help people. So it's helping people. First of all, just understand that recruiting is the best. Oh my gosh, your dog. So cute. It is maybe arguably the best product we have, the coaching opportunity. P90X is great. Hammer and Chisel's awesome. I got ripped abs from it. You know, 21-day fix has changed lives. The coaching opportunity is, I'm going to say, the best opportunity we have, the best product we have. And it is the one we are keeping to ourselves the most. And that's sad, because it really is something that is, you know, it is life-changing. It is life-saving. It is family-saving. It is, and when you really think about it as this is helping people, this is not bothering people, it is the #1 activity to grow your business. Okay, and so I think, I'm not sure if any of you have heard Lindsay Matway's Diamond is a Mindset. But I kind of think Diamond, or whatever rank you want to attach to it, or whatever goal you want to achieve out of this business, whatever your big pie in the sky, big hairy scary thing is, it's a decision. I truly believe it's a decision. I tell my Diamond pushers, Diamond is a decision. It is deciding to invite enough people to this opportunity that will that will accept it, that will say, yes, this is a fit for me. It's the decision to do that. It's not Diamond is elusive. Diamond is, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just using Diamond because it's like the big glorified rank. Sorry. The big glorified rank in the company. But it's a decision to invite enough people. Well, Megan, I don't have enough people. I don't know who to invite. Well, it's a decision to not grow your network, right? It's a decision to not connect with enough people, to find those people. So those are all decisions. And I think it's helpful when you kind of get into this mindset, why am I not good at this? Why don't I have anybody to invite? Everybody that I ask says no. to turn it around to the choices that, I'm choosing to not have a market of people, because I'm choosing not to do my power hour. I'm choosing not to make the number one thing growing my network. And I'm choosing to not do enough connecting with people. I'm choosing to not bring up that invitation to a challenge group. I'm choosing to not recruit and ask them, putting out the ask. So when you frame it around the choices that you're making, rather than it's so hard, tell me how to do this, Megan, tell me how to do this, Lisa. It's not rocket science to ask, but you don't have enough people to ask because the number one, business building behavior is not done. So if that is not something that you are actively doing, this is going to be nothing. This isn't going to be worth your time to listen to, because most people are going to say no. It's not for everybody. And it's certainly not for most people right now. So you're going to hear no. You're going to hear no more than a lot more than you're going to hear yes. And just know that that's the case. And so when you've heard, 9 no's, but no one wants this, I'm so bad at this. Well, you didn't ask that 10th time, So that's my first, write it down. It's a decision. Building a team is a decision. It's a decision to ask enough people. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on, how to bring people to seeing that this isn't a fit that this is a good fit for them, because ultimately that's what they need to decide, and that's what you need to help them to see through the relationship that you're building, that this does serve a need that they might have in their life, whether it's income or fitness accountability or something to fulfill them for home. For me, it was I need that mommy sanity of having serving outside of my home. So that's our job, is ultimately to build enough relationships, to connect with enough people, and show enough care to them to find those people that wow, this could change their life. So I think that is number one, that you have to take ownership of the choices before you go around and listen to every training call on how to invite, and the perfect script and the perfect post to put out that's going to attract the perfect client, the perfect coach. You know what I'm saying? So I know this is true for me. When it comes to my power hour, inviting, I'm not going to lie, today, it was the last thing I did, because it's the hardest. It's not, I don't think it's it's simple, but it requires emotional energy that I keep putting off. And so I have to that's my frog. If you've read Eat That Frog, Eat That Frog, yeah. By Brian Tracy, your frog is the most difficult task that you have on your to-do list. And so he says to eat your frog the first thing in the morning, so that everything else you do today will be, easy as pie. And so when you prioritize that, number one, really, that's why it's number 2 or 3 or 4 on your power hour list. Did you know that there's a reason that the power hour went in that order? There's a reason, but number, that's why it's up there. It's before, some other activities. So, I know for me, I know I had a bunch of people to follow up from that I've talked to about the coaching opportunity, but why did I keep putting off? Because it's that frog that is so hard. And so we keep putting it off. We put it off, we put it off, we put it off, and put it off. And next thing you know, we haven't we have nobody on our team because, we're just terrified, or it's the hard thing to do. So, next thing you want to write down, you haven't, is eat that frog, make that be first thing you do. And for me, I tend to be the kind of person, so the power hour, it's going to be probably, no matter what topic I'm talking about on a call, the power hour is going to come up every call, because if it's not happening, it's if my team has already heard me do a video about this week or last week, if it's not happening, there's not a business. But so you hear me just drive it home. But my notes keep going inactive. Where was I going with that? But if that power hour is not happening and you're not eating that frog, it's going to elude you every single day. So make that number one thing you do. I have to do it here's what I was saying. I like to do it in batches. I say your power hour, consistent behavior has to happen. Invite this many people a day, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I tend to be the kind of person who I'll get a bunch of contacts in 1 or 2 days, and then I'll kind of peter off intentionally, because those other 2 or 3 days I'm doing a bunch of my inviting. You know what I mean? So I think that's okay, if that's the way you work, as long as it's happening every week on a regular basis. And so with, for me, I kind of have to get into this, like, I'm in this emotional, I'm expending this emotional energy. So I'm going to do a bunch of inviting at one time. And as you kind of dig through it, it becomes easier and easier, and you realize how this is not a big deal. This is so not a big deal. Like, why am I making such a big deal out of this? I did that today. Like, I kept putting it off and putting it off, and I was like, dang it, just come on, be a grown woman. And then I just went boom, 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 and some of my diamond pushers, I was doing it for, I showed them my little screenshot for accountability. So, I memean, consider that if you feel like, okay, it takes me so much like emotional energy to like work up to this challenging task. Perhaps it's the thing that you just kind of like, you do it like that, kind of more in batches. Okay, I'm going to invite 10 people this week. I'm going to do them all in the same hour. Whatever works for you. So I just throw that out there because I feel like that works for me. So, but the power hour is in place, the order of it is in place for a reason, and keep that in mind. If you're taking that like a really critical behavior, putting it at the end, it's not happening, or just never doing it. You're never gonna build a team. So how to invite. Okay, we're gonna get into some practical steps of like how to even word things, how to post, how to like share third-party tools, stuff like that. I'm going to talk a little bit about positioning of yourself and of the how before we get into like some like, verbatim words or anything like that. I had to tell myself, I'm going to act like I have an established business. And so I tell my team all the time, okay, when my goal was to hit diamond, I was going to act like a diamond coach. And so as a diamond coach, you have a certain confidence in your leadership. You have a certain confidence that you have developed an organization. And so when I think like a diamond coach, I'm going to talk to people that way. I'm going to post on social media that way, because a diamond coach has a certain level of confidence in how they're going to invite, because a diamond coach would of course have a new coach training, right? They would of course have a way to take care of their coach. And so I always that's the way I would think about it. Okay, when I was a diamond coach, I'm gonna act like a 2-star diamond coach. And so that would determine the way that I spoke to my prospects, and it would manifest itself every time. Every time. I don't think of it as like, I say fake it till you make it. I don't hesitate to say that all the time, because I don't want, it's not deceptive. It's not like lie to people. It's, practice a level of confidence that you're not sure you own yet, but you're practicing it to try it on, like try on confidence, see how it feels. I like thinking about it that way. I'm gonna try on this feeling and see how I can do it, see how it works. And when you try it on, you're like, this fits. This actually feels pretty good. And then you are that diamond coach. And the same thing happens as you, and a diamond coach, isn't as afraid to invite as a brand new coach, right? And a 10-star diamond coach right now, I invite all the time, but I still have there's a couple people that I have in my life that I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done it yet. And I don't like that. I don't like that about myself. I know that right now there is a level of fear and doubt. And, just to put it out there, hey, why not for more accountability? I do think our team is a superstar team. Like, I know that our team is ready to be a superstar team this year. I think Team Phoenix is a superstar team. So because I know that is what our team is, that's what I see happening for our organization. So trying on that 15-star diamond, it's like, that is a big, scary thing for me to think about. And so I'm just putting it out there just to be honest and say I don't have this figured out. It's a journey of learning as I've gone along. I'm still growing. We're all still growing. And so I know how it feels to be like, well, I'm not even close to a diamond coach. How can I even pretend? I get that because I kind of feel like that way too. But it's not. It's like, think about, I'm going to try on how this feels to position myself and see how, if this is a fit for me. And you will see that people respond to that. People respond to the confidence. They feel like, okay, I'm going to be supported. This person really believes that in this, and I can trust that they're going to support me when I join. So I know this sounds like a lot of like, okay, Meg, get to like the nitty gritty. I don't think I've given the nitty gritty. I give the nitty gritty all the time. My scripts exist for my coaches all the time. It's not, I don't think that is, I think that is so secondary to these things first, honestly, because it doesn't matter if you don't truly have the confidence, because people will see through if they don't feel like, if you're like kind of wishy-washy about it, because they want to know that if they're trying this new thing, that they can trust that you're going to be there for them and that you're going to support them. And of course, even if you are a little bit terrified, you have an upline or a diamond upline or a star diamond upline. If you're in this organization, that will be there every step of the way. So you can speak to them in that confidence because you do have the tools to show them the way. Okay, so here's something that I did. I'm not sure if anybody, I know that on our team, I encouraged Christine Dwyer's signing up for Christine Dwyer's business boot camp. If you aren't familiar with Christine Dwyer, she is the top coach, probably, yes, the top coach of like our organization. So we're like, I know I'm, so Lisa and I have the same upline. Our upline is Christine Pilarosha. And then I think there's like 2 coaches in between her, like someone's sister and then someone's friend that aren't really doing coaching, discount coach or something like that, and Christine is up from her, and she's like, one of the most, if not the most successful coach in the network, up there. She's, whatever, crazy, hundreds, thousands, nuts. She has what she calls her business boot camp, and she's scary. She's scary. She's like the Jillian Michaels, I personally respond well to it, so it's fine. Like, I like someone to be tough with me. I'm like, just tell me the real deal. I need to know. So she scares me, but anybody who's gone through it knows that they're a changed coach, even if they're like, I don't know about her. She knows what she's doing though. She is helping you to get over yourself. And one of the things that she has you do is to invite your 10. She's tough. Claudine's been through it. Rochelle's been through it. Yeah, she's scary. She made me cry. I don't even care if like she gets this call. Like because she changed me, and she knows that. And she knows that she's been a huge part of like getting me over myself. But invite your 10. And she made us phone call. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't do that anymore. I don't call on the phone. Okay, it's rare. It's rare that I'll call out somebody to invite them. But she had us do that. She had you pick out your 10. And by 10, I mean, okay, so if you rated yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as your confidence level, or I'm not sure how she worded it. See, Claudine says she graduated in December and hit diamond this month. Claudine did. Yep, I hit diamond, like I signed 4 coaches the month I was in business boot camp. And I had never signed but like a coach in a month at that point. Like it works. It works. I was gonna say, the people who commit to it come out a lot. Not everyone commits because it's hard work. The people who come out of it definitely move their business forward if they commit to what she puts in place. So there's a plug for Christine. You're welcome, Christine. If you rate yourself, she tells you like, give yourself some kind of rating on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as how you view yourself. And the theory behind it is, we only invite those people that we would rate lower than ourselves, or about the same. And she's like, take a look at the people that you've invited to the business. You feel like you kind of not have a leg up on, but you're less intimidated by, because I don't know, for some reason, maybe their opinion, I don't know, how she worded it, but it made sense because I was thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, like I've been sticking right around my number 6 or 7. Because at the time I would probably say, I'm a 6 or 7. So she said, write down your 9s and your 10s, and I want you to go invite 3 10s. And that's when I cried, because she had me phone call them. They all said no. They all said no. But after that, I was like, that wasn't so bad. If I can do that, I can invite anybody. And so I'm gonna challenge you to write this down, name some 9s and 10s, or at least name people that you think you're afraid of. They've been in the back of your head, but you kind of don't even write their name down. You won't even write their name down because you're like, nah, I can't do that. Put their name down right now. If you want to get over yourself, invite that 9 and 10. Guess what? What's funny? Those 3 10. This was like 2 years ago when I did this. Those 10s, I don't even know why I thought they were 10 at the time, because now they're so not scary, and I'm like, why, and I think that was the other thing about it, is I realized I wasn't giving myself enough credit. And that's a lot, that's, how I grew from that. So those are activities that I think can really help you to build the confidence in inviting, is to just kind of get over it, pull the plug and do invite your 10, and to just kind of try on the diamond coach for size or whatever. I say diamond because it's a tangible rank, but it doesn't matter what your goals are with the business. Growing your business will require recruiting a team.
Megan.
So, yes.
Christine Dwyer's Business Boot Camp, is that, can we access that through her website?
Yes. Christine Dwyer has a website, platinumpresenters.com. If you are in her organization, you can register for access to it. So if you go to platinumpresenters.com and you register for access, you use your Beachbody login, whatever your email address that's associated with your account, and your password. Somebody manually handles those. I don't know how she checks the system. So you don't get some kind of registration process that it actually is legit. You get an email, you now have access. You kind of have to keep checking back to see if whoever her assistant on that end has loaded, whatever, given you access. So do that, if not for any other reason, but there's a crap ton of resources on there. As a coach who did not have any training in place, they didn't even have Coach Basics. When I was an old coach, I didn't have any, I'm not, I didn't have to walk in the snow. They didn't have anything like that. So Christine Dwyer, I just found her website because I didn't even know I was in her organization, really. I didn't even know what that meant when I decided to start doing something with it. A girl that I met at my Turbo Kick training had said, I reached out to her because I knew she was a coach. I was like, hey, on Facebook. She didn't even know me, but I had met her once. I'm gonna try to do this coaching thing. Aren't you a coach? What the heck do I do? And she's like, aren't you did you sign up under Christine? Oh, I was like, no, I signed up for Christine P. She's like, oh, well, you're still in the Platinum Presenters. And she showed me. I was like, holy smokes, Victoria. Any of you know Victoria Graham? That's who showed me the way to. I learned everything. I learned this from going to her site and just listening to her old calls. And she has templates. And anyway, now you guys all have that because you guys, Lisa has resources. My team has resources. So I'm not saying you need more. I'm just saying, that's where I got a lot of what I do. And she has, you can sign up for her boot camps on her site. So, and I don't know if I haven't looked in a little while, so I don't know when the next one is or anything like that, but check it out and go back periodically if that's something that you might be interested in, because it's not regular enough that you know when the next one is. You kind of just have to keep looking. So she has one called Business Boot Camp and then Diamond Forces. So once you're a diamond, to pretty much kick you into leadership shape, which I did both. So yeah, I encourage it. Check it out. Oh, okay. Here is another one that I strongly, I put it out there. If you're not consistent, if there are people on this call, they're just, you haven't even gotten started yet, or you haven't even finished your training or gotten through your training, I need you to know that there's no way that you're gonna like get people to trust you if you haven't been consistent in sharing that this is something that you're about. We all know that there are about a bazillion people on Facebook trying to sell you jewelry or a cellulite cream or mascara or whatever, or a fitness program. So many of these people, they're just trying out something and then they'll drop it, you know, or they've tried a few things and they drop it. If you aren't showing up on a consistent basis, making this your lifestyle, nobody's gonna, they're not gonna trust you. They're not gonna, you know, why would they? Why should they? Especially with something as unique as what we do, because we're not, I don't believe we're selling products. I believe we're selling, you know, we're sharing hope, and this is personal. Our fitness is more personal than like, you know, I need to have longer lashes. It is, and so they need to know that they can trust that you're gonna, you know, you mean what you say, and that you're not just selling something. And you have to make that message very clear that this is something that you truly believe in, and you believe in them. You know what I mean? And I don't think I have to get into like how we market our business, because that's not what this call is about. We don't do it the same way these other network marketing companies. We're not just blasting our products. We're sharing our story, our niche, our market. I mean, we all know this, you know, if you've done any kind of training, you know, we are sharing of ourselves. So you've got to be consistent for, you know, months at a time, because those people that you're inviting right now, there are a lot of, you know, the people who say no, they will come back around. They do, I promise you. I've had so many people that, you know, said no, and they come back around because they realize, you know, when it was the right time. I was the girl who stayed, who was consistent, because guess what? There are other Beachbody coaches out there. But there's only one you, and as long as you are there for people and you're consistent, showing up daily, you know, when they're ready, they're going to come to you. So just remember that that no means not right now, but only if you are showing that you are serious, and that, you know, it takes, like, I kind of think it's like my magic number is like a 90-day turnaround for people to, like, you know, okay, you know, I'm going to consider this again. So consistency, showing up, people need to trust you. So that is, I think, the number one reason I have a RockStar team, and I'll call my, not tooting my horn, I'm tooting my teams. They're rock stars, and I think it's because they trust me. I think because they trust that the system, so they use the systems I put in place. Because that's what makes somebody successful, is they go through the systems that we have, that, you know, we share with our teams, that Lisa, I'm sure, has for you guys. They work if they're used. The challenge is sometimes these things are scary to do, to invite. They're scary to do, and so if we don't 100% trust our upline that they say, you know, then we're not going to follow through. And I think that is something that my team, my most successful coaches are the ones who have told me no most times, honestly. A lot of my most successful coaches are those who have just been around each other long enough, you know, that eventually when they were ready, because I was there for them, they were ready to truly, like, commit to what I said would actually be helpful. Does that make sense? I feel like some of my, it's harder for, have you ever had a challenger who, like, was an easy sale almost, and you're like, well, that was awesome. Got my 2 Success Club points, awesome. And I didn't even have to, like, work that hard. And then that was the challenger that kind of crapped out, because for some reason there wasn't that connection built enough that they followed through with the process and they stay engaged with your challenge. So that's what why I think, like, being consistent makes, they need to trust you. And that's why my team, I think, trusts me. That's why they're rock stars, just because they commit to the systems, because they believe, okay, Megan said this is going to work. Okay, I can get over myself. I can do this. And then it works. It's those, you know, it's harder to get convinced. That's why I don't even love doing these big recruiting posts on social media and targeting people that I don't already know, because I'm afraid that they'll say, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then when it comes to doing the hard stuff, we haven't built enough connection yet that they're going to, like, follow through. So when I titled this call, like, you know, Rockstar team, think about that. Like, your rock stars are going to be rock stars because they follow through with systems that we already know work. And how you make that happen is by building trust with them, so that they, you know, will actually decide, I can do this. I can, this is, you know, I believe that I can be successful. Okay, so I am going to share, I mean, I've shared my scripts with most of my team. I've started to collect them to a little bit more, more organized. Like I have a coach to, a challenger to coach script. I have, or varieties, you know, so like samples. So I'm not gonna go through them, but I'm gonna share those with, you know, Lisa's team, and I'm gonna, you know, make sure that my team knows where to find those. How to kind of speak to, okay, so I have somebody in my life that's a friend that I think would be great at this. So here's how to talk to them. Here's somebody who's been a challenger. Here's how to talk to them. Here's a fitness professional, maybe. Here's how I'm going to talk to them. So I'm going to share those. I don't want to like, talk you through them. So I'll just kind of just hand those over to you to use and to give you confidence and how to, you know, and don't copy them verbatim. Of course, you want to use your own. But some, like I hated scripts at first because I was like, no, I don't want to sound like salesy. I don't want I don't like canned like marketing yuck. But I did realize when I got something, oh, that actually sounds like something I could say, and you make it your own. And I realized how effective they were when I didn't have to like overthink it every time I invited. So just take it as a guidance rather than verbatim, because if it doesn't sound like you, people are going to realize that, oh, that sounds really canned. I bet corporate sent that to them. You know, don't you love those posts on social media by like other companies? You can tell like that person did not write that. They copy pasted that from somewhere. You don't want it to sound like that person. Okay, so here's my best tips for a new coach who is inviting. You're afraid, right? You're afraid. You don't know how to do it. Really rely heavily on third-party tools that, you know, I'm assuming that, you know, Lisa's team, you have a video maybe that you've done that talks about coaching. I know Beachbody has their own, but it's always better, you know, when it's personal. I know that I used Christine Dwyer's for a while, and then I found Trina Grace, who I love her and I love her style, and I used that for a while. And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be a big girl. I'm gonna make my own, and so I used that. And then when my team would use it, even if mine wasn't like as awesome as Trina's, at least it was someone that they knew and they had a connection to. So use your uplines, videos, sneak peeks. If they have a coaching webinar, anything like that, use those third-party tools. I'm going to share with you what Christine Dwyer taught me when I was, you know, learning how to invite to the business. And here's why you need to use those, because if you have questions and you haven't like really learned everything yet, you're not going to know how to answer them, or you're going to feel like, oh crap, now I'm screwed. I don't know how, you know, they've got me. So using those tools, it answers a lot of the questions that they, you know, already will have. So that is why I think it's a safe thing to do as a new coach. So let me share with you, this is something that you can write down, the 5-point quick chat. I'm going to read Claudine's message real quick. Invite tens, invite only people that are motivated. Do not invite people that you need to drag along. Amen. Amen. I've even said this to people before, if I'm having a conversation about coaching and it's seeming to go like wishy-washy, hemming and hawing, I'm like, listen, like there's no pressure here. If you don't want to do this, I will not talk you into it. Because the last thing I want is a coach that I have to drag. That's, you know, if someone, I mean, same with my new coaches, you know, I don't want to push you into this. So if you have to drag someone along, they're never going to be successful. So, you know, if you ever feel like you have to convince someone to be a coach, they're not a fit for the team. So just don't even worry about it. You never feel like I've had coaches come to me say, I can't convince her that this is great for her. I'm like, you should never have to convince anybody. You should be able to handle their objections, or I can help you handle their objections and their fears. But if you have to like talk them into it, they don't, you know, just, that's where you can just say, no worries, it's not a fit for you. So good point, Claudine. So here's the 5-point quick chat. This is so helpful for me. This really was how I did all my invites for probably a couple years. And I only vary from it like mildly now. It made me feel really comfortable, and I think it makes the prospect feel really comfortable. And so she calls it the 5-point quick TED invitation. So break these points down. All right. Make sure I covered the points. Okay. So say you have someone that you're ready to chat with about coaching. You want to share with them a video that maybe your coach did. So you might have something, be prepared to like have something to talk to them about, or, you have a question about something. I think of an example. Okay. Trying to think of a friend who her son was having a birthday party that my kids were invited to, or something like that. And I didn't have the directions or something. So, but I also had been talking to her about coach, or I had thought about her as a coach. So I said, hey, Andrea, I lost the invitation to the party. Would you mind, giving me the address, or, or the directions to get to the birthday party this weekend? I said, and also, so kind of have something that you're going to talk about, natural, like don't like make something up. I don't know. Here's, this is the disclaimer. So the first one is have something to reach out to them about, like a relationship that you have that exists. There should never be cold invitations here. I believe that other coaches train cold invites. I don't personally think. I just don't like it. For me, it's your business. You do what you want, but I just don't go there. Same reason. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't think, even if they said, yeah, that sounds like awesome, I don't know. I don't think it would work. So, if there's a relationship that exists, you should have something to talk to them about. A message to them that is relevant to you, your relationship, them, to your disclaimer. This is so big, the disclaimer. I don't know if this would ever interest you, or this is probably not up your alley, but, or, I don't know if you would ever consider something like this, but so a disclaimer. So low pressure, it just takes the pressure off, it takes any kind of heat off. Disclaimer, that's your second point. But I think you'd be amazing at what I do, because now compliment them. Whatever reason you feel like this person would be a fit. I think you would be great at what I do because you are so encouraging in our challenge groups. I think this could really work for you because you are passionate about fitness, and I can see how much you love to help people. So something that's a compliment, a reason, and you should be able to compliment this person, because you're not forcing anybody that's not a good fit. So that's number 3, is that compliment. Here's the next one. If I would you, that's your number 4. If I would you. If I sent you this video about what I do as a coach, would you check it out? If I invited you to the sneak peek that we have coming up, would you, check it out? If I don't know, like just make it, if I would you. So you're giving them a choice. You're opening them up to say yes or no. They're gonna say yes though, because it's not like you're asking them to do anything huge. Sure, I'll take a YouTube link in my inbox and check it, whatever that is. And they'll say, okay, sure. Great. Here's number 5. When do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? So that's a big one. If you like have a highlighter nearby or something, don't ever say, let me know what you think. Let me know after you watch it and what you tell me what you think, or just like never do that. And a lot of you are like, oh crap, I just did that today. Shoot. I did too, okay? Never say let me know. I did that for like months, because they're just not. And only more because we're just busy, and most people aren't like yes, sign me up. This is exactly what I've been looking for. So I cannot wait to get signed up. They usually, even if they are interested, they generally have questions or some objections or whatever, you know. So it's just make sure that you set a follow-up time. So great. When do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? Oh, I don't know, like tomorrow. Okay, awesome. I'll just follow up with you on Thursday. So this does a couple things. It creates urgency to the person who you're sharing the information with. So, you know, if it's just like, here's the link, when are they ever going to watch it? When I get to it, we're just procrastinators. So that creates urgency because you've already said, I'm going to, her biggest flaw I've finally overcome. It's so easy to do. So it creates urgency, something that, you know, they said, I'll watch it. Even if they don't, that's okay too. At least when you follow up with them, here's a second reason this is so big. You won't feel like you're harassing them. And I think that's the biggest challenge with people who like they've invited and it's like crickets and like they feel like, well, I don't know if I message them if they're gonna think I'm like pushy or trying to sell to them, and you know, I don't want them to feel pressured. You can just kind of eliminate that altogether by, yeah, I'm gonna message you on Sunday. So when you message them on Sunday, they're not like, oh, there she is. You know, you already said it. So great, awesome. Well, then I'll just touch base with you on Friday. Have a great night or whatever. So it creates urgency and they expect to hear from you. And then when you follow up with them, even if they've said, oh shoot, no, I didn't get a chance. Oh, no worries. When do you think you'll be able to actually do it? You know, that's how it works. And then just, you know, follow up and, you know, you can kind of take off the pressure of, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm annoying them when they are expecting to actually hear from you. So that's the 5-point quick chat invitation. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you on this call to do that, to, you know, this week, use that, employ that this week with people that you have, you know, identified as people that you think would be, you know, great on your team. Okay, so what's next? Tracking. Make sure that you're using some kind of tracking tool in general for your business. Like you've got to be able to put these numbers down. I know new coaches, for me, I remember thinking, well, there's not much to track yet. I hardly have anybody that, you know, is engaging with me. And so it took me months to actually be serious about tracking. And I was so mad at myself for letting so many people go because of my, you know, just kind of brushing off the whole idea of like writing things down. So, you know, write down your prospects, put a list, start a list. It needs to be with your contact list, people you're inviting to the business or to, you know, challenge groups and stuff. But, you know, you have a running list of people that, you know, you start it in your new coach training. You should continue to, you know, that's what you need to grow from. Something that I do that's really helpful for me is I create an interest list in my Facebook account. So, you know, if you don't know this, you can create what's called interest lists, and people don't know that they're on these lists. It's private, or I mean, I think you can make them public. They can make them public or private, but clearly you'd want this to be private. I'll even do this for like my team. I want to make sure that I'm not, because, you know, as your network grows, so does like your newsfeed get out of control. So I want to make sure that I'm staying in touch with certain people. So create an interest list of all your coach prospects. And this way, each day you can interact with them or regularly stay engaged with them, stay relevant to them. So this is maybe because you're still in relationship building mode with this person. So like I know when I became a coach and I was like, okay, there are some people in my life that I feel like this could be a fit for. I want to stay engaged with them. I want to stay relevant to them. So I'm going to comment and like on their stuff. I want them to see my stuff. That was another thing, is if the more you comment and like on people's stuff, the more they see your stuff. And, you know, as you're sharing your genius social media posts, you want to make sure those people are seeing it so they know what you're doing. So it's not out of the blue if you start talking about, you know, the business. So, because, you know, I know that we all think everything that I ever post, everybody sees, and it's not the case at all. So you've got to stay relevant to those people. So that's something that I do that helps me to feel like I'm staying, you know, engaged with them, is to regularly go through that interest list and make sure that I'm not like, you know, fallen off their radar in any way. So when I feel the relationship gets to it, I can bring that relationship to that place quicker using those interest lists. So tracking, make sure that you are, writing these names down. Okay, next, figure out your ideal coach. So they talk about like who is your avatar that you're growing. When you're using social media to grow your business and to attract people, you're trying to think of the person that most, like, I'm going to try to appeal to moms generally, or, whatever. Picture your ideal client, and that's the person that you're going to be trying to market to, but just share that, value to. However, in the beginning of your business, it is about numbers. It is. You will slowly, and honestly, I don't think many of us know what our niche is quite yet. It is something that you kind of evolve and determine over time. So like if you're in a new coach training and this comes up, like brand yourself, I'm like, the heck? Brand? Like, how am I supposed to, so I get that. I get that you don't know what that means yet, but just to start thinking about it. So, I wrote down, talk to as many people weekly as possible. In the beginning, you have to make up for your lack of skill with numbers. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Commit to our plan and stick with it. The key is consistency. So that's the reality. I actually like copy pasted the first invitation that I had to sign up as a discount for the discount. It is so embarrassing. I could read it to you, but it would take me 5 minutes because I like vomited the fees and the superfoods and God knows what. It was just like too much information. It was just a bad invite. She ended up purchasing on, like so funny. I don't know how she did, why she did, but you're gonna figure it out. It just takes the practice. So yeah, in the beginning, it's going to be numbers. And, some of my new coaches can attest to this, you feel like, oh my gosh, people are starting to cancel eventually in the beginning. That's because you're still figuring out your tribe, and that's normal. People who commit, they're going to fizzle out, because ultimately to build your RockStar team, you want to attract people like you, people who are going to trust you, who are going to connect with you, because if you're part of Team Rough Tough Buff, or you're part of Team Phoenix, they're families. They feel like family for a reason, because there are enough common values or common interests or common mindset that it feels a comfortable place that people want to be a part of and want to hang out to stay in. So in the beginning, you're still figuring that out, and it takes time. It just takes time to kind of find your way through it. I don't know if any of you are familiar with is it Malcolm Gladwell? Is that his name? Gladwell's Outliers, that book. Gladwell is the last name, but it's a really popular book about success, and he really did a lot of digging deep into why certain people are successful, or into success. It's like a study, a big study into success, but something he calls it the 10,000 hour rule. And so he's claiming that the key to achieving world-class expertise in any skill is to a large extent a matter of practicing the correct way for a total of around 10,000 hours. That's like crazy. I'm sure I don't think I've been inviting for 10,000 hours. But the point is, you just kind of have to keep doing it to figure out what feels natural, what you're going to, is going to actually click and feel like, oh, that actually is effective, and that feels like something, and it's just easy anymore. So that's why these top coaches can pull in 30 coaches in a month or whatever they do, because they spend a lot of time in their power hours every day getting practice. And so that's what it's going to take for you too, is just the practice of, you're gonna say some stuff like, "Ooh, that sounded weird," but then the next time that it's just gonna happen. One of these days I'm gonna share my so embarrassing first invitation. Okay. This is kind of general, but I don't want to brush over it. Think long term. It may take some time to find your flow and get the results you desire, but investing in things like Super Saturday, and your personal development, this is what's going to give you the confidence to, to make these invitations. What else did I write? Okay. So realize that leaders continue to do the key activities that make them money, or sponsoring new coaches, even when they don't feel like it. So learn how to consistently make yourself do the things you don't want to do. 2 books that are great for this. So write these down: No Excuses by Brian Tracy, and then the GoPro by Eric Worre. If you're serious about blessing people with your services and a business opportunity, here that comes in again, this is about blessing people with an opportunity. So, okay. Next, we're going to talk about using social media to find your rockstar coach. So, as you do start to define who it is that your ideal coaches, the way that you use social media to attract these people it'll be unique. So one of the top coaches, if you go to any top 10, think of the top 10 coaches. If you follow them, if you don't, you should. And I'm not saying you should do what they're doing necessarily. You should just, kind of get ideas for how they speak to their audience. And so Bonnie Engel is one who is she uses her social media she calls, if you listen to any of her trainings, this is a coach who went from 15 star in 2 years into top 10 coach. It's crazy, just crazy. But she uses her social media like a sneak peek. She says her Facebook page is a sneak peek, essentially. She just becomes really savvy with subtly sharing the business opportunity in every post or in most posts. And you can tell who she's trying to attract if you read it. I know I've said before, I could never post how she posts because I could never. It's effective and and she's savvy, but because I'm not looking for the same push she is. That would not work for the audience I want to invite into my family. And so I think it's important to identify that it's okay that it will look different, and it should be unique. So I'm not sure if we have time, but I did kind of collect a couple posts from my team, ways that, they have shared the postings. I mean, some of them, it is a heavy hitting, I'm inviting you to join my team. And there's some that are just sprinkling it in, sharing the benefits, sharing the, different ways that coaching has blessed them. So, I should be able to go to your page right now. I should be able to screen share. Should I scare somebody right now? Should I do it? Claudine, I'm kidding. I won't do it. But if I go to your Facebook page right now, I should be able to scroll through the past couple of days and know that you are a coach, number one, and that I could do it too. And that perhaps if I wanted to, I could talk to you about doing it. And if you put that on your list of next assignments, 5-point quick chat, do that this week. Go through your social media and can you honestly say that there's any reason anybody would reach out to you to do this? That they would even think that you are someone to go to. For fitness even, I mean, you got to take an honest look at your social media and recognize that it is your storefront, and you've got to share that this is something that you can help people do, or they're just not. You're gonna have a hard time showing them that you're someone that can support them in it. So, and you can be really subtle with this. You don't have to be obnoxious, I promise. I look at my teens' posts and they're so creative because they're unique to their situation. Like Lindsay Miklasich, she shared one. I didn't look at the specific one. I'm not looking right now. But, she talks about medical bills when her daughter got really sick and how this is supporting them. That is real life. And when you can connect at that level and other people can, that is real life. And I think that's important because that's a personal connection. You're not going to necessarily see me post I've seen coaches do this and it's really effective. They post their income, this year. I'll show my team that for inspiration. But I'm really, as much as I want to inspire people to show them, hey, this thing is capable of crazy lucrative stuff, I don't want to attract people who just want money. So that's why I don't. But it works for people who oh my gosh, I'm ready to hustle and do whatever it takes. So think about, okay, because someone else put up that kind of post, that means I got to do it. Think about who you really want to be a part of your family, and then consistently share on your social media that people could do it too, in a way that is unique to who you're trying to attract. Oh gosh, I lost my. Now, I'll be honest, like I do my heavy hitting recruiting posts. Like I will do like a couple times a month a post that is, like I have one up that I've even paid for to continue to sponsor it on Facebook ads. On Facebook, when you have a page, you can sponsor posts, invest a little bit to get it in front of more eyeballs. And I'll do those. I don't think that they're the most effective thing for me to recruit at all. They're not very effective as far as me getting someone who expresses interest and they move into a coach. They have. More than anything though, they are showing that I am a person they can go to when they're ready. So people know that they can come to me. So same thing with your challenge groups. When you post that challenge, oh, no one responded to my challenge group. I spent like 30 minutes making that cute little graphic on PicMonkey or whatever. We know that you're making more of those challenge pack sales to personal conversations. For those relationships you're building, those beautiful images are great to share with people. Hey, I do this every month. Hey, this month I'm doing it too. Hey, this month I have another one. So when that person's ready, they're like, hey, Megan had a challenge with something on our page like 2 months ago. That's why we do it, because we have to show people that this is, we're here for them. So don't think that I hit Success Club 20 because I make an awesome graphic. Mm-mm. It's because of the conversations that I'm building, but hey, people do know that I'm the girl I go to. So that's why I might do a heavy hitting recruiting post too. So where do I get my rock stars? I get my rock stars from my challenge groups. Oftentimes, I have some rock stars from those posts. I do have. So I'm not saying this is all like general, but generally, I have the people who've been in challenge groups with me because there's a relationship built there. There's a connection. There's been time spent in trust, building a trusting relationship. So, this is not news to you. That challenge groups are, a great way because you can identify who is thriving in that environment. They're engaging in challenge groups. They're helping people, without you doing it. That's, a great way to find out, find people to invite. Another one is to invite people you just like and you want to be around. When I think about my team, I just like them. I just don't just think of it as, oh, this person will be awesome because of their personality. The people that they're like successful on my team or the people I invite, really, I just enjoy being around them. And I think team culture is so huge. I think that is what lifts people up to work hard. So think about people that you just think are awesome people. The other reason is a coach doesn't have to have amazing skills. A coach has to be a person that, caring is coaching. Coaching is caring. That's all it is caring. And if you know somebody who is just got a great heart and is a good person, and you just they're going to be an awesome coach because, they are loving and caring. So I think people do get caught up on, the different personality traits that make a good coach. And I just think as long as you care about people, you're going to be an awesome coach. So I think about just people that I like because this is a family. This is, a community of people who want to be together because they enjoy each other too. So think about just people in your life, like, I just think they're just awesome to hang out with. I think those are the people that I want on my team. Obviously, anybody on the fitness journey and fitness passion and personal trainers, sure, go there. I do. But I think the first, couple are, your challenge groups and people that you already know in your life that, that trust you or, have relationship with that are, that have, they're caring and, you know, encouraging and inspiring. Just, and I'm going to repeat this. You're going to hear no a lot. You're going to hear no a lot. I mean, I could probably name like over a dozen coaches on my team that are doing great, that have told me no, and a lot of them more than once. My 7-star elite coach, Jen McNeil, who is, what is she ranked, number 56 as of last month in the entire company, she told me no 4 times. She says that, actually. I don't remember that exactly. She says it was 4. I'm going to believe her, but I didn't think it was that many times. She told me no. I mean, I remember her saying no. And even when she joined, it was like, okay, you know, because it was for the discount. I'm just going to like get my discount. And then it was like, oh, okay, my friends keep joining your challenge, so I want them to come to me. I'm like, okay, we'll lead your own challenge group. But I think it was because she wasn't ready for that. But we stayed engaged. We stayed in a conversation. She knew that I cared about her, because I do. So don't just drop someone and leave them because they said no to you. Continue to engage with them because they just aren't ready. They may not be ready. Lindsay McClusic, I just mentioned her, also told me no. Oh my gosh, so many times. So frustrating. I was so mad at her because I was like, you could be so gosh. I was so mad because I was like, don't you know? And then, you know, sure enough, you know, she's an amazing coach, you know, beyond diamond, doing great things. Like, I mean, I could have so many examples. That's what's funny, is like so many no's that have turned into just, you know, really incredible coaches changing lives. So those no's, don't let them get to you. So discount coaches. I love, if you listen to Janelle's call, she really cautions you against calling people discount coaches. And I was like, ooh, well, she said that the way she explained. I was like, oh, I can stop saying that. And stop inviting everybody just to the discount, because you think that's safe. It's safe to say, oh, just for the discount. You don't have to coach. Don't, you know, don't worry about that. Because that's like almost saying, well, you're not good enough for me to invite your coach. You know, I think that's just, she just kind of sounds like, oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. I might be like totally discounting them by assuming that's, you know. So anyway, but just for the point of reference for this conversation, I mean, some of my discount people who began as discount coaches are my, you know, are incredible coaches now, because they even though like, oh yeah, just my 25%. I was that girl. When they stay engaged with the community that you've created, they start to see, wow, this, you know, some of them, I'm just saying not all of them, they can see into like what it actually is, and decide that I can actually move forward with it. So that's why I encourage you to add your discount coaches to your team page. I mean, I feel out the situation, but I'll let them know, you know, this is just a community of like-minded people. We lift each other up, we ask questions. So, you know, any people in this page are just all levels of interest in the business, working at it, not at all, and some, you know, full-time. So, I let them know this is just a great place to have support. And oftentimes they stalk enough to think, hey, I could actually do that. I have multiple examples on my team now who are doing great jobs. So just consider that. And something that I've been really pushing on my team is the idea of inviting all of your challengers, every single last one of them, as you grow your business, or as you you know, invite people to your challenge groups. I give them all the option to sign up as a coach right away. And I have a great script for that, and the scripts I'm going to provide for you. But basically, it says something to the effect of, awesome, I'm so excited to get you started. There are 2 ways to sign up. The second one doesn't make as much sense, but here they are. And I say, you know, if you sign up as a coach with your challenge pack, it waives the fee, you get your 25% beyond a discount if you continue beyond the first month. Either, you know, but you can cancel if not. The other second option is you can just sign up as a challenger, but you have to cancel if you don't want to continue with Shakeology, you know, beyond the first month anyway. So basically, it doesn't make as much. It really doesn't make as much sense. You have to cancel your Shakeology anyway. So why not just cancel your coaching? If you decide this isn't for me, I'm good with my 30 days. I sign up so many that way. And then they're more invested, I think, and they continue on product. They grow to love it more. And then oftentimes, like I said, they lead into people who actually want to do something with it. So, you know, definitely check out that script. I use it almost every single person who I, you know, sell a challenge pack to. And as you do that too, it builds your confidence, and it's more practice, and it becomes less of a big deal to invite anymore, you know, by just starting with the discount coaches. It's okay. Is that your dog's? That's hilarious.
Like, I'm glad you.
Is he snoring?
Yeah, she's snoring.
She's
snoring, and he's here too.
His tongue is out of his face. Lawrence, I feel like most diamonds were discount coaches to start. There's a lot of them. A lot of, yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to not highlight that more. Like, a lot of my very successful coaches were discount coaches first. So, because I get that kind of concern from my coaches too, is, you know, oh my, okay, I'm doing an okay job. They're starting to recruit a little bit, and then they feel like, gosh, no one wants to join. No one wants to actually do this. And I always tell them my diamond organization was almost all discount coaches, with the exception of one, and maybe a second, but she ended up canceling ultimately anyway, eventually. And even my original diamond at this point isn't the same as it was. Like, there was most of this. So it was literally like I had one working coach, Andrea Stevens, and then my husband was my other emerald. The rest of them were discount coaches. I mean, maybe some were like, maybe I'm just gonna see how this goes. But I think as you invite, you know, more people to just try the discount, you become more confident. And then as you grow your business and as you're consistent, people see you actually doing this. They then the people who actually might, you know, want to do something more with this, they're going to, you know, come to you because they've seen, okay, you're consistent, and this is something that you are doing long term. So does that make sense? It's very normal for many of your first coaches to be discount, and it's just a matter of building that confidence and continuing this journey that the people who are ready to commit will join you. So just don't, because they think they're not good enough. I think that's what I get, the lack of, you know, like, it becomes a self-esteem thing. No one wants to, I mean, I'm probably not gonna be good at this. I can't get anyone wants to work it. I mean, like 1 out of 10 might actually want to work it. That's the reality. 1 out of 10, I don't know what the statistics are, Lisa. I don't know if you have any, like, I don't know what the statistics are, but, and even the people who say they're gonna work it, well, they don't. I mean, that's reality too.
I feel like I've heard the statistic is 8 to 10%.
Okay.
End up actually working the business.
Okay. People who just join in general.
Yeah.
Okay. And then even those who you do recruit who say, yeah, I'm going to try this, and they start training or something, you know, don't take that on you that if they're not following through that you're a bad coach either. I know I internalize that, like, you know, okay, I must not be a good leader if the people who said they want to do this aren't following through with training. The first year of my business, I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong to not, you know, they said they want this, and it's, you know, remember that too, that is, you know, that is rare, that people just come right in and actually do it. So that's, you know, just be careful with, you know, being discouraged, because, and I say that only because when you are discouraged, you stop doing these things, stop doing the behavior. So just kind of giving you that warning that that's normal, so that when it happens, you're not surprised and not feeling like, okay, what's wrong with me? Okay, what am I missing? I'm not going to take the time to show those posts, but they're good. Maybe I'll share those links to my couple coaches posts in the resource that I provide you with those 2 calls that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so my last point, and then I'm going to let you guys ask specific questions, is we're going to talk about self-doubt, or is it, this is what I experienced. And I want to see if this is something that you guys experience. In the beginning, I told you I was super shy, super scared, people pleaser type. I had this whole like, I'm not sure if this is the right word, but false humility of, oh, who would want to listen to me? I am nobody special. Why, when I post about inspiration, when I try to inspire people or provide motivation, why are they going to listen to me? When there are other people who do it, or, oh, I have friends who are Beachbody coaches. Everybody in my social circle is a Beachbody coach, or everybody, there's like 5 other people in my hometown that are Beachbody coaches. I shouldn't even try. I mean, like, you have all these excuses around why people aren't going to listen to you and why you shouldn't even try. And you're not special, and I don't want to make it about me, and I don't want to act like I am something, I'm an expert, or I had, you know, it's me being not wanting to, you think I'm being modest, you know, just, you know, I say that's a false humility because I'm making an excuse for the fact that I'm more concerned about what people think of me. And if you are somebody who says, I want to help people, that's why I want to be a coach. That's why I joined this, because I truly do care, and I truly believe in these products, and I believe that they can be life-changing. You know, if that is truly how you feel when you come to join as a Beachbody coach, then you are not doing that by not sharing it. If you truly care about people, then you're going to share with them something that works, no matter what, you know, no matter how they think, what they think. If you think you have something that might be to help somebody, then you are being, and you don't share it, you are more concerned about you than you are about them. And that's what I needed to remember. That's kind of, I had to do a little like come to Jesus thing. Like, you know, you're saying that, oh, I don't want to make it about me. I don't want to make it about me and how much I can share with them and how much I can help them. And this, you know, I'm not that girl. I'm not that kind of girl. That was more, I said that because it made me feel better. But the reality was I was more concerned about what people thought of me than actually helping people. And that was, I needed to like, to stop believing my own lies and realize, do I want to help people, or do I want to help my own image, my own reputation? So that's my like way to say, get over it, get over yourself, without actually saying it, but that's ultimately what it's like, get over yourself. Because if you're not inviting for that reason, you don't really want to help people as much as you say you do. I think that's the reality. And I know that's hard to hear, and it's hard to say. Well, I don't want them to think bad of me. Well, if you truly are trying to help them, then do you care? You know, like if you know this will help, then you shouldn't care. If you know in your heart, where if you know in your heart why you're reaching it, because you know this could be helpful to them, then you are more concerned about your own self-image or reputation or perception or whatever. So that was something that I kind of just had to own and recognize whenever I found myself like censoring something I was saying, or, you know, I had this whole thing about selfies. I was like, okay, I'm doing better, but I cannot do a selfie. Can't do a selfie. Can't put a selfie online. Just I can't do it, because then it makes it about me. Then it's like, oh, who does she think she is? Put her face up there. Like, does she think she's pretty or something? Or, you know, whatever. I had all these like, if you do a selfie, that means you're full of yourself. That's, you know, what I had in my head. And I was like, okay, I can post it out inspiration, but I can't put a camera in my face. But that was more about me worrying about what they're thinking of me, about me. They were thinking about me, rather than knowing selfies connect with people in a way a picture of your food won't. People need to look into your eyes. They need to connect with you. We're on freaking phones and laptops and whatever, and we're not actually like face to face with people anymore, or even talking on the phone anymore. And that selfie, I don't know why, it just gives us a connection that, you know, you're looking into the eyes of the person that you are, you know, relating to. And that's why selfies are effective. And so I had to get over this, oh, it's about me to do a selfie, so I'm not going to be, that's not what Megan's about. But Megan was about preserving her own self-image until she realized, okay, people need to connect. They need to, I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna help people like I said I wanted to do. So, all right, I'll stop all the my little woo-woo stuff, but I didn't want to just sit here and give you more practical tips like you can get from a lot of these amazing coaches, because I truly believe in building a RockStar team it's all about building trust. I truly believe that the only way to do that is to be committed to your personal, your power hour. Finding the people that you're going to spend time connecting with. So if I want rock stars, I've got to build great relationships with those people. When they join my team, they rock. And I've got to get over myself if I want to see big things happen in people's lives. So those, I hope those help. I'm gonna, Lisa, do you have anything that you wanted me to maybe touch on that I wasn't as clear on or didn't like cover?
I wanted to ask you about tracking. Are you using a program in addition to like writing things down? Do you use like Asana or anything like that?
Currently I'm using Streak. It's a Gmail application. Is it what is extension? Extension's the word. You need to have Chrome. It's just another way to manage, but I'm not necessarily saying you guys should all use Streak, because it does take some time to learn. It's the best thing that I've learned, and it's been 3 years and I've probably used about 10 different things. So I don't think there's any good, there's Asana, there's Excel spreadsheets. I think I give my new coach training an option or two to try. It just comes down to, I did use Asana for a while. I tried that. It was, it's personal to your personality and your organizational skills, which mine lack terribly. Evernote is a great one for a lot of people. So it's, Beachbody has theirs, the BAT. So, well, is that where you do it? Is that where you have your tracking? I'm not sure what they provide for coach tracking. Yeah, just find something to start with. Don't wait for the perfect tool, because it doesn't exist. You just kind of figure out over time what's most effective. What do you use?
I'm not using anything. I'm using
paper. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
I signed up for Asana and started using it, and I felt like it was another thing. Like it was too much.
It's effective for some coaches. I've watched some trainings that it really worked well for them, and I was like, they had the tags. I was like, ooh, that's amazing. But then I tried it and I just didn't follow through. And I was like,
I didn't follow through either. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I found paper is more manageable for me than that. But if that works for you, paper works for you, then use it. I know that if you looked at if you saw my desk right now, there's papers everywhere. So I lose papers. I get under stacks and then it's silly. So I know I can't. I keep saying, oh, I'm a pen and paper girl. A lot of people say that. I'm a paper and pen girl. But I'm like, well, look at, are you actually like able to keep up with those papers? I'm not. Like, I have sticky notes all over the place and I don't even know where to, So if try it, if it's failing, figure out something different. Does anybody else on the chat want to share something that they find to be effective for them? Maybe some other ideas would help coaches try something new. Streak is great for tracking. For me, I use it for staying in touch with my challenge groups too. If you want to learn about Streak, I would say the best place is to go to YouTube and search Brooke Lipoff. She's an elite coach who is like super organized and detail oriented, and she's really good at training people through systems. So she's more like techie, but it's not, I mean, I'm not techie and I can figure it out. So it's not like, be like techie to figure it out, but she's just good at training it. So that's where I learned to do it. It took some time, but it's effective once you learn the ropes. So
I just wanted to, this is not related to tracking, but I just wanted to circle back around and highlight, I thought that was really interesting that you now invite every single challenger that you bring on, you offer them the coaching opportunity right at the front door. that kind of floored me, and it really highlighted how you focus so much on the fact that having a successful business is not about commission. It's not going to be about having Shakeology home direct orders coming to your doorstep every month. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
I think that a lot of coaches wait to offer the coaching opportunity to people because they want their Shakeology commission, and their business is stagnating because of it.
Yes, I agree. And I don't know your business, I don't know your life. If that like $32 is like essential in your pocket right now, then you gotta do what you gotta do, right? But if you were making life happen without getting that $32 right away, then forget your commission, because the way to build a business is not on commission. To build like this business, you forget your $32. I'd rather have that person have, get more committed and be more successful because they weren't paying an extra $32. I mean, just think about it. I mean, if you're paying more, the person's not going to stay on as long. And then if they're a discount coach, if you can get them to, to see that that's a good value for them, they are now part of a community that's going to make them more successful too. And I always make my discount coaches feel like they are VIPs. They're my VIP customers. I let them know, you're like a VIP customer to me now. Like they're holding a special spot in my organization. So they are like, you get first dibs on my challenges, and making sure that you know that how much I value you. So that's kind of how I try to treat them as a VIP challenger or a VIP customer.
I love that. I just wrote that down. They are your VIP customers. That's amazing. Thank you.
Because they've invested a commitment to me or my community or my challenges. They have said, I'm gonna stick around as long as we're cool. Not like, I'm gonna try your challenge and see how it goes, but like they've said, then I'm like, hey, you're bought in at some level. I want to continue this relationship. I mean, that's the way I'm thinking about these people. Even though they're paying less with that, like they're ultimately saving money, they're committing to a longevity, no matter how long they actually last. There is a commitment or beyond this challenge, and that is important. That's important for them to know that for them that commitment is what's going to help them be successful, and also that's what we want. We want to help people to reach their fitness goals. So yeah, that's why I think it's important.
Good stuff. Questions?
Elizabeth says, I hope that's true. I started out as a discount coach. Nice to know diamonds are in my future. Yes. Very well could be. I believe that, that when you kind of spend some time getting to learn the community, then you feel a lot more supported when you get started, because you know that you have, it gives you confidence, because confidence is what helps you grow. So I think, Elizabeth, you can be and will be successful. Go for 10s, Lauren said. Who wrote down their 10s? Who wants to share their names of their 10s, who they're going to invite? They have some 10s, 9s, 10s. Ask any question, even if it kind of seems off topic from what I talked about, because I may not have addressed something that can help others with, recruiting on our RockStar team.
While we're waiting for questions to come in, I just have to say, thank you so much. I wrote a ton of notes, mind blown repeatedly throughout this call. And it's one of those things that, like, I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure it applies to other people. Like, this call and what you had to share was the exact thing that I needed at the exact right time. And I can't thank you enough. And I'll thank you on behalf of Team Rough Tough Buff too. Like, you rock. You are awesome.
My pleasure, Lisa. No,
I'm lucky to be, connected with you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Nobody has any questions? Cannot believe it. Who's snoring? What dog? Who is that that's snoring?
It's Lila, the girl. This one. They're taking my whole chair as usual.
You mean their chair? Their chair.
Yeah, their chair, exactly.
Yes, thank you. Very inspired, Lynn said. I'm glad, Lynn. I hope you guys are all like, I hope when you get off, you're sending out messages right away. If you're going to bed, they can find them in the morning.
Yes.
When do you go back to, oh, good question. I'm glad you asked. When do you go back to follow up on a, I'm interested but not right now for coaching opportunity? I'll say something like, you know, can I follow up with you in a month? So, and they're gonna say yes. They're not. I mean, they probably. And that's like, no. It's probably gonna be more like after I move in 3 months, or you know, then it's you know they've told you. So if you leave it open ended, you're always gonna feel, is this the right time, or am I annoying them? So you know, I think it's important to establish when you're gonna follow up with somebody. So that's a good question. I'm glad that you asked. And also, like, I kind of have like a 48-hour rule for the crickets. So if you have those, like, nobody responds, but you know they've seen it, and you're like, really, just say no, because that's really annoying. That's what you want to say. I'll kind of do like a 48-hour, or you know, if it ends up being more, it's more. But if I feel like they just won't tell me no, or I'm not really sure, but I want to make sure that let me answer your question in a minute, Joanne. I'll say something like, hey, so-and-so, and this is in regards to like challenge packs too. If people have said, yeah, like send me a link, and then like nothing happens. If I feel like, okay, I just need to like get a yes or a no right now because this open-ended is not working for me. I'll say, hey, so-and-so, hey, no, I know that you mentioned an interest. I said, but if right now is not a great time, that is no problem at all. You know, do you want me to follow up with you next month? So something like kind of giving them an out so that they can say, oh, no, I just keep putting it off kind of thing. And so that, because I've said this before, like, I am a terrible procrastinator, and I will commit to things and I wait to the last possible minute. And usually people have to prompt me. So, you know, saying something to the effect of, hey, listen, no worries if now's not the right time. If you truly don't, or if like, especially if you've like followed up with someone a couple times, like you have sent the, hey, so just checking in, were you ready to sign up? And there's a couple, and you feel like, okay, they must really not be interested, because I've made messages in like 2 or 3 times. That's when I'm like, hey, I see that this is not the right time for you, or this is not a right fit for you right now. No worries, not a problem at all. Would you let my, and I have gone as far to say, would you mind letting me know like what it is that wasn't, you know, a fit for you, or is it just not the right time? So I think like when you kind of make it sound like, here's your out, like I'm not bothering you, just let me know, because I don't want to be a pain. I'm kind of saying that, then it gives them an opportunity to be like, yeah, you know, like I'm just not sure I'm ready. No problem, you know, or hey, I was just kind of procrastinating, and I'm, you know, or there's like some kind of objection. I'm gonna find it. I had a good one. There's a girl that she has filled out my, like, it has like a form when I do my recruiting posts. And she's filled it out, and I've emailed her, and she'll comment on posts when I have challenge groups, and then she'll like, won't respond to my messages. Like she'll keep doing it, but then like when I respond, she doesn't actually follow through, and I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, if you don't really want to do this, I don't want to bother you. So I did. I'm going to find that message. And I never really was this forward before, but I needed to do it. And it was said, what did I say? Oh, I said, hey girl, please tell me if you don't want any follow-ups from me. I do not want to bother you if you really are interested. That is totally okay. If I'm misreading it, great. LOL. I just never want anyone to feel bad telling you no. I get it if it isn't the right timing or even a fit for you now or ever. If I am misreading it, then I'll put it out there that I'm hosting a live webinar tomorrow night. Worth to look into if, you know, because she mentioned her goals in the forum. If, you know, you're still looking for accountability, coaching really helps me to stay on my journey. Here's the link. I said, but seriously, no sweat if this is not up your alley. It's not for everyone. But since you had expressed interest in the past, I thought I'd share. So she finally responded, like pretty immediately, pretty quick after. She's like, no, you are fine. Unfortunately, I don't have the money to get a program right now. However, I would love to do the clean eating and those things until I can afford to get one. I love what you do and appreciate the help. Thank you so much. So I think she was just putting off saying, I can't afford it. And she, you know, just, it's hard for her to say it or whatever reason. But I feel like just kind of giving them the out makes them actually respond. And ultimately, you don't ever want to feel like you're wasting someone's time. So that worked for me because she was like, no, here's my objection. I just wasn't saying it until you kind of forced it out of me. Yeah, she was like, no, I really actually do appreciate you following up. I'm just, yeah. Joanne had a question. Did anyone ever ask how many coaches you had on your team and wanted to join a larger team? Let me see. I don't know. I can't really remember, but I'm sure that's happened. I mean, I'm sure people have, you know, but no, not necessarily. I do, something that does come up, which always frustrates me is, oh, I decided to go with someone local, you know, and it's because they think that for some reason the local person, you know, even though the person does not have a relationship hardly at all, but like we've been working together, but like they for some reason they think like the local, and I wonder like maybe there's something that I could have prevented by, you know, maybe I have not made it clear, like, you know, whatever, but that does happen. I've had that happen a couple times where I've had coaches on my team share that frustration too. Like, I've been working with this person, she was so ready to sign up, but then someone at her gym that's a trainer said that they're a coach, and you know, they feel like because they're closer, I'm like, you know, and I like that's a frustration so that is one that I've got to figure out how to like you know, work on sharing upfront. Because something that I shared with my team just recently, and I'll share this with you because I'm writing down all the things I need to give to you. I shared it with my PS coaches, and I'll put it in the larger invitation, but how to use posts that battle your objections. You know, the objections people often have to, you know, coaching or to, you know, just even doing the home programs and Shakeology. So they actually address those objections on their Facebook page in a savvy way. Like I know Lisa Marzavia, how do I even say your last name? I'm not even sure. Lisa, today I think it was today, you shared, or today or yesterday, but something about how you used to think Shakeology was expensive, but then, you know, here's why you don't now. So she's targeting that Shakeology objection before that person has it for her. You know, I used to think that home workout babies didn't work because this or whatever. You know, when you can kind of show like those objections that you have, I know you have, you know, I'm gonna, you know, put it out there that it's hogwash. But I mean, you can do it. It's cute and smart, and I'll share that objection, the examples of what that could look like. Posts. So I like that one because, you know, there's a lot of, we have a lot of our hangups about coaching. I had someone toss out a top coach and was inquiring about joining her. Yeah, I can see how some people might do that. I'm not sure if that's ever happened. They didn't tell me. They just bailed. I don't know. I'm much more fun. I'm sure you are, Joanne. I have had somebody bail that we had worked together for months and months, and I had a really hard time with this one, but I learned a lot from it, so maybe this will help you. Bonnie Engel talked about that on a national, and she did answering questions publicly. Yeah, Bonnie Engel talks about kind of handling those objections. So you follow Bonnie Engel for some, you know, examples for it, because she is really like, that is her thing. She is on point with that stuff. I had a person that I worked with, like, did 3-day refresh results. I mean, like with Leah, we work together. One of the only people that I actually text. I have a few like challengers on text. It's all Facebook. For some reason, like we communicated via text, and so that's more personal. So like I thought we were like girls. But when she's ready to be a coach, I got on the phone with her. We got on a phone call, which is a rare thing for me too, but I'll do it. Like if people want to talk about it, I think I would much rather get on the phone with somebody and really help them through any of their challenges. So I got on the phone with her and helped her through it. She was ready to go. And then she signed up, and it was a Sunday morning or something when she signed up. And, you know, I communicated with her like, I can't wait, you know, we'll get started. I'll send you your welcome email. We'll get, because she's a little bit needier, of a person, and that, you know, that's kind of okay. But because I didn't like really get to her like that night or that day, it bothered her, and she ended up switching to someone local within the time switch. She's really regretful now, but at the time it really like it was a punch to the gut. That she's like, I can see that this isn't, you know, priority, or, you know, she didn't say it, she didn't say it outright. It kind of came out that, you know, this person's going to have more time for me, which actually in reality never did have time, you know, but what I had to remember is, you know, my weekend time, I have to create boundaries for my family. And so I have to be okay with the fact that if a coach is going to be upset with me for not investing in them, like on my weekend, which I have, you know, I was at church when she messaged me, and I was actually serving at my church, you know, like, I did actually respond to her to say, I can't wait, I'm going to send you this, this, and this, and then we're going to do this. It just wasn't enough. And, but I, you know, so it took me a little while to get over. Like it definitely hurt my feelings that after all that I'd invested in her, you know, but I realized if this is the kind of thing, if this is what she expects out of me, this would never have been a good fit anyway. If she expects that I can, you know, take time for my family that is set aside special, because you have to set boundaries around your business, then, you know, then it would never work out. So you know, now she's very regretful. She wishes she could go back, but coach relations or compliance won't let her. I'm not laughing at her. I'm just like, it's just, I'm not laughing at her situation. I feel bad for her. I feel bad that she's not happy and what she has isn't working for her. But I'm laughing at like how hurt I got, but what I learned was, you know, this would never have worked out anyway. If, you know, she had expectations I was not, you know, able to meet. So, any other questions? I do need to follow up with my let me know what you think. Hey, I think we've all done it. It's natural. Anything else, guys? Okay. Anything else, Lisa?
I don't have anything else. I have lots of, you know, new ways to implement what I was doing. And
Has it been 2 hours? Has it really been that long since we've been on the call?
yes.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry to talk so much.
Oh, we are so lucky to have this much of your time. Thank you so much. And is this call recorded?
Yeah, yes, it is. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's close. And I really do not like to make calls this long, because I know that, yeah, sorry. Well, hopefully people who can listen, who had to hop off early, can like listen to the recording. But yeah, I'll send you the YouTube link.
Awesome, you rock.
And I'll send you those resources that I mentioned too.
Perfect. Thank you everybody for coming by and soaking up so much goodness. And thank you so much again, Megan.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad to do it. All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, bye.